Hey guys, what's going on? Pickles Therapy here, and today I'm going to be talking about Battlefield 4, pretty much news from E3 and stuff. As you guys know, E3 came up, and I'm not sure if it's still on. I just knew it was the 10th and the 11th. I don't know if it's past that. I'm pretty sure E3 is done. But one of the main titles in E3, not main, but one of the bigger titles was Battlefield 4. And as you guys know, I've been doing some news segments on this, pretty much just updates and crap about Battlefield 4, so that you guys that are anxious as me, can keep up to date with it. And so if you haven't, let's start. Now, one thing that we saw was that they showcased a lot of Battlefield 4 multiplayer and another Battlefield 4 single player little segment. And from what I've seen, the graphics are amazing. They look a lot better than they were in Battlefield 3, which is saying something, because the Battlefield 3 graphics were probably next-gen graphics for being a game that was so long ago. But I mean, it was good, and they showcased a lot of multiplayer. They showcased a new commander thing, from which, if you guys heard the Battlefield 4 multiplayer video, I said that they may bring that back, and I was speculating that, wow, they could bring that back. I mean, there weren't any big stories on it on that time, so I sort of hit that one on the dot. There were no really news things about that. EA never really said something about that, so I mean, I really hit that commander feature on the spot. I believe that hasn't been there since Battlefield 2340, whatever it's called, or Battlefield 2. I can't remember, guys. I'm sorry, my memory's not that amazing. That video was quite a long time ago. But another thing that they showed were some vehicles, and as you guys know, or have seen in my other videos, China will be a new faction in Battlefield 4, and on the map it showed China was part of the map, and it was the faction. So we got to see some of the tanks. I believe it was a Type 99. They had some helicopters. They're bringing boat warfare almost back to the thing. It's going to be a pretty big part in some of the things, in some of the footage that I saw, and the live streams that I saw on Twitch. It was pretty impressive. They had boats. I'm not even sure what they were, but they were pretty powerful. They had the mounted machine gun. They even had these escape jets. By jets, I mean the Sea-Doo looking thingies, water jets, whatever you call them, water skis. They had those in that, and that's just in case if like your whatever the armored boat thing was blew up. I mean, you could get out of there safely. And they have actual boats, like patrol boats. It looked pretty impressive, and one of the most impressive things about Battlefield 4 is the Levolution. I believe I said that right. You can change the map. These maps are so dynamic that it just blows, in my opinion, blows Call of Duty out of the water. There's footage from E3 of this new map. I'm not sure what it was called. I don't think they really said so, but it was an entire skyscraper crumbling, and the effects were so amazing. It fell into the water in front of the building, and it looked so beautiful. It was fantastic. It looked very clean, and it even created another playing ground as the building fell. A new level of land was created for that. So I mean, as you can see, it was pretty impressive Battlefield 4 footage. So another thing was that they gave the tanks a new camo, since I guess it wasn't as much as a desertous type of game. They gave them almost like a jungle type of camo. They released some things on more Levolution, which is the gates. You can close store gates and stuff to prevent enemies from going through there. You could shoot pillars with rockets and stuff underground, and it would make the road above it collapse. And it was overall really impressive. And another thing that I found fantastic about the E3 thing, the E3 release on Battlefield 4, is that they proved that the next gen consoles could play 32v32 matches. There were 64 people in the matches on console, and it was absolutely massive. I mean, it looked like a game. God, I don't even know. It looked almost like a PlanetSide 2 match where there was just so many people going after each other. It was pretty crazy, and the graphics were good. It didn't look like it was lagging at all. It looked so clean and crisp. Battlefield 4 just overall wowed me, and it looked very nice. Now, the commander feature, which I was talking about earlier, I nailed that, and they did confirm that. It was pretty good. It looks awesome. You could use your tablet to do it. You could connect your tablet to the game and use your commander feature from your tablet. I'm pretty sure you can do it from the console as well. That's sort of like a gimme, but you can like almost take command of a destroyer. You can't move it or anything, but you can fire like Tomahawk missiles. You can fire not fire UAVs, but you can use UAVs as like scout. You can like call in a C-130, a gunship, and this is all a result of how well your team is doing. So if your team is above the other team, which I guess means underneath, because the way Battlefield 4 works is your tickets clock down. The less, the worse that you do. Correct. Sorry, that was a brain fart. But if your team has more tickets than the other, then you have more access to commander features. And the commander really will help with the new 32v32 matches. Many people said that it was a fantastic feature. We didn't see them splitting the classes to from assault and medic, but that was to be expected. Another thing that I saw at the E3 news thing was that they actually increased the squad size to 5, and the reason being, you really need to rely on your teammates in this game. It's a very team surrounded game. I mean, Battlefield 3 was, all the Battlefields before that were. I mean, God, you can run around with a KSG or God knows what type of sniper and quick scope 360, whatever you want to call it, and you could practically take out the team just by yourself. And of course, nobody's really that amazing, but I mean, you have the option of doing that. You need to rely on your team in this because they nerfed the ammo. There's a lot less ammo, but I think that's a really interesting thing, is because you're not going to see troops carrying 50 magazines or something like that. It's pretty unlikely. But you need to rely on your support classes or stuff to give you ammo. And there was even a guy I was watching in the stream that ran out of ammo in both of his weapons and had to use his knife, but he was so far away from his team, all he had was his knife, and he didn't last long like that. But it was as to be expected. So another thing that I'd like to go back to is the Levolution part. There are roadblocks almost that you have to activate and deactivate to get tanks through and stuff. Tanks seem to be a very big aspect of this game, seeing that it's really a teammate controlled thing. So if you have a tank, you'll end up doing better. There's also a new type of vehicle in there. It's like an armored car almost type of thing. It's very, very fantastic. Let's see, it was very armored. It took a tank a couple shots to get it through. It had a pretty good machine gun. It was like a transport thing. Hopefully I'll be putting that on the screen. But, I mean, it was a fantastic game. It looked pretty impressive. I mean, overall, it was just a really good E3 showcase. So hopefully you guys liked it. If you're still listening to it at this point, I think I deserve a like because you survived the rambling. So go ahead and like that video if you enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.